Welcome to the Inktober recap. I'm not going to get into the rigmarole of how long this has taken to get together, but I'm committed to doing it. And Instagram has screwed me out of going live because you have to have 1,000 followers now, and I don't think I'm even at 200. So here we are. We got a camera quality upgrade. We're going to do some editing, even a little bit, very minimal. But yeah, here we are. Inktober 2025. Focus, please. There we go. Let's get into it. We're going to go through, and I'll talk about each drawing a little bit. I'll pick 5 favorites at the end with some honorable mentions. Yeah. Just before I get into it, if you've watched my Inktobers of the last 2 years, I did it a little differently this year than I have the past years. I was getting a little tired of that format. It was still good. It was a nice exercise. The whole idea was there was 4 drawings on a piece of paper. I would make 4 boxes on the page and then do a different medium in each box. So it was pencil, just a pencil sketch, a Sharpie drawing, a micron pen, and then this quill inkwell quill pen that's falling apart. And that was cool. It was a good exercise. I should use that quill more, actually. I don't think I've used it since last Inktober, and I do like it a lot. So I should use that more, but I hated drawing with the Sharpie. I wanted to add some color to it. I wanted to use the materials that I use on more of a day-to-day basis drawing, just to get some more reps with those, because I have fallen into a nasty habit of not drawing a lot. Hey, I'm doing Inktober recap, dude. It's okay, I'll edit it, hopefully. I thought I already recorded the whole thing, and then I went to go to edit it, and a big chunk of it was missing. What are you doing?
You just grab some hands. Don't get me on film.
You're not in focus anyway. Dude, I can't remember where it's at now.
Don't mind me.
I think I was talking about.
Fuck, sorry.
I'll just wait. I think I was talking about the Bilbo what? At this point, I should just start over. Whatever, we'll leave it in. It doesn't matter. It's low budget anyway. Okay, so yes, this year I decided to use the materials that I normally use, and I still had a gimmick, which was every 7 days, or I was gonna do each week, but every 7 days is what it ended up becoming. I changed the color of the accents. I did an accent color. So we started with this teal. So this is sort of a teaser in this cover page. Started with the teal, moved to the yellow, then the dark green, then the blue, the purple lavender, and then ended on the brown. I wanted to, at the end of every week I wanted to switch so that it was a little more balanced as to there's obviously not going to be 7 days each week, so I was just trying to balance it out a little bit. Didn't work out that way because I forgot, so there's only 3 of the brown at the very end, which it is what it is. So that was the gimmick this year, still trying to kind of exercise a little bit, and so the idea was to limit myself to one color, meaning that I had to kind of layer things and shade with it more. I didn't really do that much, unfortunately, but it was still a fun exercise. I think that's the preamble. Let's get into it. First drawing. We came out of the gate schlangin'. Focus up. Please focus. Okay. Mustache was day 1. I really like this one. I mean, I like most of these. His shirt and pants and tie and eyeballs all have the accent color. I really like how I made the word itself sort of fuzzy, mustache-esque. I went into it with kind of wanting to do like a mustache had like taken over a guy in a way, you know. Your mustache can sometimes become who you are, and so this literally is like, you know, it's his legs. It's gotten so out of hand, it's become his legs. Yeah, really solid. I like that one a lot. Day 2 was weave. Don't love the word. I think the drawing turned out pretty cool. Some of these words were just not my favorite, a little lackluster. Some of them were too broad, some of them were too specific. This one's the former. I guess these kind of tendrils coming out the back are weaving, which was my best attempt at doing weave. But nonetheless, the drawing I think came out pretty well. It's fun to use the teal for the color on the eyeball there. Day 3 was crown, which was fun. I'm pretty happy with this one. I don't draw people a lot, and I think this is, I don't want to say one of the better people I've drawn. He has plenty of issues, don't look too close. But I think he came out cool. I like his robe a lot. I like his crown, obviously. His armor is cool. His boots look good. He's got a nice beard. This is one where I think I did do a pretty decent job doing some like shading with the accent color. This light source is over here, and so this side of his crown is darker, and the bits behind are dark, and it's very dark in here in his cloak. Yeah, he's sort of like the king of crowns, but I also knew the color that I was working with was teal, so he's, I guess, kind of like a Poseidon type ocean king as well. I did that a couple times where I actually went into the drawing thinking about the color. Most of the time, I don't think that was the case. I just drew something and then was like, okay, let's add some color to it now and see where it ends up. What was this, day 4? Day 4 was a murky. Focus. Murky. This one's alright. Just a jar full of murky water. Concept-wise, this one took me a while to land on. I was going to do like a swamp or like a bog of some sort. That's what came to mind first. And I do like drawing landscapes a lot, so it just seemed like a good fit. I kind of started penciling that one out. I was at the EP after work when I was doing this one, and Jason was hanging out, and he had suggested doing bath water. He was like some murky bath water. So I tried to marry those two ideas and put like a bathtub in this swamp, and I didn't like the pencil sketch, and I didn't like the direction it was heading really, so I decided to completely rework it, and we wound up here. It's pretty fun. The cork is huge, which is kind of my favorite addition. We got all kinds of stuff floating around in there. I always like it when I also can kind of stylize the text, which I was able to do on this one. Yeah, nothing too special, but not bad. Day 5 was deer. Pretty happy with how this one came out. This one, so I try not to use reference for these. Not necessarily that I try not to, I just have a stigma around using reference, I guess, where it's like, well, if I think I can approximate it in my mind's eye and put it on the page, I'd rather do that than pull up a reference, which is stupid backwards thinking, because whenever I do use reference, like this drawing, I tend to like it more because things are a little more recognizable and just true to life. That being said, I didn't want to make this just like some regular, average Joe deer, so I kind of made the antlers a little more chaotic and gave him these sort of spider eyes, which I think played well with the teal color. I love the fur on this one too. Fur looks good. Yeah, deer. That's day 5. Day 6, I believe. Let's double check that I'm not on. Yeah, day 6 was Pierce. I really wanted to draw Pierce from Community, Chevy Chase's character for this one, because that's just, I like messing with the word if I can, and that's what came to mind. We wound up not doing that because I attempted to for 2 seconds and then did not like the pencil sketch, so we wound up with this frog squirrel guy. I don't know what the fuck that is, but he's dead. He's very dead. This might be one of my favorite, at least second favorite maybe, integrations of the word, where I kind of drew this secondary arrow going through the word, piercing the word, if you will. And he's got teal spots on him because teal was the color. That was one where I just like, I gotta put the color in here somewhere. Okay, his spots are teal. Day 7 was starfish. This wasn't necessarily an original idea. It was fun to be able to mess with the word a little bit. So obviously I drew a fish. It's not a very good fish. I did not use reference for this. I think you can tell it's a fish though. And he's saying, I'm in the movies, because he's a star. Get it? But I did see a lot of other people doing Inktober also do a very similar thing, which, no points for originality. Drinking Smirnoff Ice because it is Friday and this is the 4th time I've recorded this, so we're having a drink to get through it. Yeah, starfish. Put a little star. You get it. Day 8. So this is the color switch. We did 7 days of teal. Now we're on to 7 days of yellow. The word was reckless. This is a fun one. First kind of landscape that we get to do. Don't love it. I used to be better at kind of drawing like these cliff, like juts, I guess. I don't know, mini cliffs on a cliff. And I do not like how they turned out here. I think it's very funny. You got this guy jumping from this, I don't know, pier, I guess. And then I don't know if it translated, come on, focus. But this is supposed to be a trampoline, so that's what he's aiming for amidst all these jagged rocks, and hopefully he makes it, but he probably won't. So that one was fun. I do think that was a nice use of the color. That was one where I wasn't thinking about the color necessarily going into it, but I also, in the back of my mind, was like, well, yellow can fit into a rocky atmosphere pretty easily, so worked out well. This is 9. The word was heavy, so I drew your mom. How's she doing, by the way? She hasn't called in a while. This is also a person, which like I said, I don't draw very often or well, but this is a nice little fun stylized person, which I think is fun. The yellow on the shirt I am pretty happy with. The highlights with leaving the white, I think, came across well. Yeah. Say hi to your mom for me. Yeah. This is day 10. Oh Lord. I didn't actually label the days, I just did the day that I actually did them. And that's another thing, is I had a very hard time actually doing these on the day this year, which I think was a blessing and a curse. I think the quality of some of these is better, or I think the quality overall is higher than the past couple of years, partially because of that, because I would intentionally wait, but I would get, stacked up and behind, so I'd have to bang out like 3 or more of these in a day, and the more I sat there and drew, the better the drawings were towards the end, so that was nice, but also it doesn't feel very good to be doing a daily drawing challenge and not doing it daily. Okay, so this is 8, 9, so that was 9, this is 10. The word was sweep. I had no fucking clue what to do for this one. Really stumped me. Like I said, some of the words this year, not my favorite, man. Not my favorite. So I just kind of ripped off Mr. Handy from Fallout, essentially. I really like his sort of faux face here. My thought was that like this sort of, I don't know, robot thing up top is like the actual camera, and face of the robot, but to make him a little more personal to the, or personable to the user. Little faux face on there. The color on this one I think is very fun. I was thinking about it going into it a little bit because I was like, okay, well, he'll have some sort of jet. Yellow works for fire, and then my favorite addition is this little rust sort of drip that the yellow also worked very well for. That was 10. Day 11. The word is sting, which I did a fun little stylized font for, kind of. Pretty happy with that. This is a funny one, in my opinion. I didn't go for the traditional bee stinger, scorpion stinger, you know, some sort of sharp stinging thing. I went for a stinging comment. So we've got this this asshole saying, "Nice mustache, you fucking loser," and our mustachioed friend is certainly taking it to heart. These are some fun just faces in the void. I do like drawing faces a lot more than I like drawing full people. I think these are two pretty solid faces. I really enjoy that you can see the emotion in them, which is excellent. Okay, that was 11. 12 is shredded. Shredded's fun. I knew I wanted to do a paper shredder. It was either that or, you know, some big muscly guy, which I think a lot of people did, but I was like, okay, paper shredder, that's also fun. And my initial thought was that I could put some sort of funny document being shredded, like, I don't know, Obama's birth certificate, or poop certificate, official poop papers. I don't, whatever. You get it. But I was also at the bar for this one, and the homies Dylan and Nicole were hanging out, and Nicole, who's a fantastic artist, gave me the idea to do a limb, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Why not? So I drew this. I guess it could be an arm. The thought was leg, and I actually did have a foot on here at first, but every single time I drew the toes, it just it weren't right. So I just gave him a little cut off with a bone nubbin sticking out. Yeah, shredded. The yellow on there is just there because it needs to be there for the gimmick. That was 12. This is 13. This is a fun one. 13 was drink. Did a little fancy font for that. So this was fun because I also did this at work. I actually did this one while I was working. The other two I would just happen to still be at the bar. I actually made this drink. So I crafted, I really should have written down what was in it. It was pretty good, in my opinion. I mean, it was a rum-based cocktail, which, I mean, I'm a sucker for rum. But I actually made the drink, and then I knew that I had to do the Inktober, and the word was drink. So I was like, okay, I'll make the drink, and then I'll use that as the reference. Like I so infrequently do use the reference, but I was in an awesome position to make my own reference, which I enjoy much more than just like looking up a picture or something. So I did that, and then I drew it, and that's our drink. I should have named it. I should have given it a name. I should have written down the recipe, but alas, lost in time forever except for this shitty drawing of it. Okay, that was 13. This is 14? Yes, this is 14. 14's word was focus. Not focus, but I wish the camera would. The word was trunk. So I drew some junk in the trunk. Literally. Big old booty with a huge, very prominent asshole is stuck in the back of a car trunk. This is one where I did have to look up reference. I tried to draw a car trunk just from memory or imagination, and it wasn't happening. So I pulled up a reference, and then I stuck an ass in it, and that's that. The yellow worked pretty well here. I knew I was going to use it for the taillights. I just added some more up here and sort of the top of the trunk because it seemed like it needed a little more color. And that is it for the yellow. We are now on to day 15, moving into the dark green accent color. The word is ragged, which I don't really love how I wrote it at all. I tried to stylize a little bit, and it just looks sloppy. It almost looks like it's like rugged, or like, it's sloppy. But the word is ragged. I do like this guy a lot. I like most of him. My one complaint is this side of his hair. I don't know what happened, but I just went on autopilot mode and made it all spiky, as opposed to this, which is, you know, it's got some more weight to it. Its gravity is affecting it. This is, let's just say he's got a cowlick, I guess, on the entire left side of his fucking face, or head. But I'm happy with this one. Bandana's green for the color accent. I think that works very well. I made his eye green as well, the one that's not all scarred. He's very ragged, very battered and bruised, rugged as well, so works on both levels. Day 16, this is a fun one. Blunderbuss is what I drew. The word was blunder, and as soon as I heard the word blunder, the only thing I could think of was blunderbuss, which is sort of like an old-timey shotgun gun sort of situation. If you've seen the new Frankenstein, there's a blunderbuss in that. It's like a 4-barrel blunderbuss. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is a fun little weapon, which I think I did a good job of. Also used reference for it. I guess I said I don't use reference a lot, but as I'm going through here, it's turning out that I use reference frequently. That was 16. Moving on to 17. This was my favorite twist on the word. It's one of my... It's a good twist on the word. So the word, if this focuses, is ornate. So when I heard that was the word, I was like, okay, I could draw something, you know, very fancy and ornate. Or I sat on it for a minute. I was like, okay, ornate. So I chose the or, which was setting up this, I suppose it's some sort of like Love Island type thing. So it's who will get the rose? Harry, Hubert, the seductive slut, or Nate? The crowd erupts with laughter. Thank you. No, please, you're too kind. I actually did an Instagram poll with this one too, just to see who people picked for the rose to go to. And I was fully expecting Nate to win. I kind of intentionally, I thought, drew him as like the cuter little guy. But Harry Hubert took it. It wasn't even that close, I think. I could double check, but just so you know, Harry Hubert, the seductive slut, man. Fan favorite. The rose here, I hate. I thought that I could just draw a rose off the top of my head. I cannot. The green worked well for the stem of the rose, and I threw some in for the characters as well. The tie and the eyeballs and the collar there. Yeah. I've forgotten what day that is. Oh, okay, I did it on the correct day, so it is 17. 18. Very happy with this one. This isn't necessarily a play on the word. I just like this a lot. So the word was deal. So I drew a shit deal. And it's literally a shit deal. I think that what I like most about this is it has the vibes of the God and Adam fingers, kind of, in a way, but so not that. I really like how I drew the money and the poop. This might be the best poop I've ever drawn, like realistic poop. I tend to draw like more like cartoony poops like this, which I think this is also another nice little detail. The guy buying the poop has like a little poop tattoo because he's the shit, or he loves the shit. Yeah, green worked out well for the money. Added some to the shirt sleeve here as well, just to balance it out a little bit. Put some more color in there. Very happy with that one. That one's very goofy. Very fun. Okay, this is 19, I believe. Yes. This is 19. This is probably the most offensive and egregious thing I've drawn in a while. But it was also another play on the word, so I won't show this for too long. But the word was Arctic. Like the cold, or the poles, Arctic. I sat on that word for a while. I was like, Arctic. I think I'll draw a dick that is arced. This is one where the color was a very much so an afterthought, because I knew I was going to draw that. Nothing was going to stop me. And there's no place for dark green in a penis drawing. So I just drew some green splooge, and I made the vein green. Look, man, I can't always be held accountable for my actions, alright? Sometimes art just happens. I do think that this rivals the Mona Lisa. A hot take, but what are you gonna do? Okay, day 20. The word was rivals. Focus, please. Rivals. This word I struggled with because I really wanted to draw the character that I play in Marvel Rivals, Penny Parker, and I almost did. I looked up a picture and I was gonna draw like one of the sprays from the game. It was just too much. It was too complicated. I didn't have the time to do that or commit to it, unfortunately. So instead I guess went for a circle guy and a square guy, because obviously circles and squares are rivals. Pretty uninspired. I don't hate it though. It's there. The green is such an afterthought in this. It could not be more of an afterthought. I literally just put it in randomly. That was 20. 21. I'm very happy with 21, and this was probably one of my favorite words just because it's right up my alley. The word was blast, and I had a blast with this one. Obviously, it's a nuclear explosion. You get a little bit of landscape in there. This one was one where the color was an afterthought because I drew this text box. The man here is saying, or no, it is more so caption. And the man thought, what a blast. Little punnage there, because I am who I am. And so I just outlined the text box in the green because there didn't really seem to be a good spot for it in the drawing itself. I was maybe going to add some like vegetation in here, but I didn't. I do like this drawing a lot. The shadows on everything I think are really fun. These kind of mountains in the backgrounds and the clouds I'm quite happy with. I'm really happy with that mushroom cloud. I draw quite a few of those, or have, and this is on the upper. I like it. It's a good one. And the guy. I'm trying to get better at drawing sort of silhouettes, especially on small scale, and I think that turned out pretty nice. Cool. 21. Wow, that means a green is wrapped up, and we're now on to the lavender/purple. First one for that was, almost said the word was poop, but it was indeed not poop, it was button. So I drew this awesome console. I'm also very happy with this one. I did this one and the blast in the same day. That was on the 22nd. I think I guess I was just kind of cooking that day. And yeah, this is fun. I went through a lot of iterations in my brain of what the button could be for, because I kind of filled that in afterwards. I just knew I wanted to draw some kind of console with all of this like greebling, buttons and the monitors and the, just all kinds of space type button console Star Wars bullshit. So there it is. And then we landed on poop being the button because I think I'm funny and nothing's funnier than toilet humor, I guess. I don't know. Don't look too far into that one. So yeah, there's button. That was the 22nd. The 23rd, the word was firefly. Got a little bit of a squiggly font going for that one. That's kind of cool, kind of fire-esque. I started with the fireball itself for this one, and then I knew I was gonna just kind of personify it. So yeah, I added the bug eyes and the wings and the proboscis, and turned it into a firefly. Fun little play on words there. Pink was an afterthought. I was gonna make the fire itself pink, but I didn't because I don't know why, because it's gotten to the point where, I mean, I'm doing this at the first... Okay, it's always... oh, God. It's always something. I reached the max recording time, so hopefully I can get this in one more. I think it's like 10 minutes or something. I really don't want this to be longer than it needs to be. I can't really remember the last thing that I said. I know I was on Firefly. Let's just leave it at that and move on. The 24th. Rowdy was the word. This was one of my least favorite words. I was drawing an absolute fucking blank on this. I don't hate this drawing. I think it turned out pretty good. This guy looks like an absolute douchebag, which is kind of the idea. Don't look at his hand. That's bad. Honestly, most of this side is bad. The boombox itself is okay. Let's just pretend that was the drawing. He's saying, who wants to listen to some garbage? Because he's being a rowdy asshole. I think the color on here, the accent color is nice. Adds some pop and flair to it. Rowdy. Not much to say. Moving on. This is the 25th. I got really behind here. So this, and I believe the next 3, were all done on actually the 29th. So I did 4 in one day. I am very happy with this. We kind of came out on this day swinging. The word was Inferno. So this is sort of inspired by out at Burning Man, when they burn the man and the temple. It gets so hot that these fire tornadoes sort of whip up, and they're really cool. So this is kind of my take on that, and I'm very pleased with how this came out. It's kind of loose, kind of sloppy almost, which I think gives it kind of like a good energy. Really looks like it's, you know, a fire tornado. Love the color here. This is one of those things where I wasn't thinking about the color beforehand, but it worked out so well, or it's like a stylized thing. You know, if I was just drawing this with my whole pack of colors that I could choose from, I would have chosen a red or a yellow or an orange, because fire, red, yellow, orange, blue, if hot enough. Different colors if you add different things or whatever. Let's not get caught up in the science. But purple, this purple is like, yeah, man, that's like a cool ass fucking purple fire, man. My one gripe is how I did do the lettering on this. I was trying to just do like a slanted thing, and it didn't really turn out how I wanted it to. It was also not centered enough, so it was short. So I tried to add like this exclamation point at the end, which I was like, oh, I'll make like the dot of the exclamation point a little fireball. But it just looks, I hate it. I hate that part of it. The rest of the drawing's great. That was 25. 26 was puzzling. So I drew this tree. I really wanted to draw a tree. I struggled with the word for a little bit, and then I landed on that I wanted to draw a tree, and the idea was going to be that there was going to be something weird growing from the tree, you know, very puzzling. Oh, why is there money growing from the tree? The tree that I ended up drawing didn't really lend itself to like having stuff grow from it. It wasn't really a fruit tree. This is more of like a bonsai type tree kind of thing, which I'm very happy with this tree. I think this tree looks great. But I needed some puzzling elements, so I did 2 things. I put a fucking puzzle piece in the tree, a little on the nose, but I do love jigsaw puzzles, and that was another thing that I thought about drawing off the get-go, was just a jigsaw puzzle. So I kind of added that element back in, and then also made the canopy the purple, which is just, you know, it was part of my restriction, so it had to be in there somewhere, or part of my gimmick, so it had to be in there somewhere. But also, you know, if you were to see a tree with a purple canopy, I think you'd be quite puzzled. I would. Unless I was on Formorpulon, which of course is known for their purple canopy trees with puzzle pieces in them. But we're on Earth. 26? It's hard when I do these on the same day because the order gets all out of whack. This is 24. What? Oh my god. Bear with me, bear with me. 24, 25. So that was 26. This is 27. Onion. The word was onion, and I didn't even draw a very good onion. This word sucked, in my opinion. It's just like, okay, draw an onion. Like, there's no interpretation here. It's just draw an onion. I mean, I made my onion a bomb. It says this onion is the bomb, and it's not, but it is a bomb. The purple worked well because it's, you know, some onions are purple, so that came together nice. But I think this is where I stopped cooking on the 29th when I did all 4 of these was onion. Oh no, I just stopped cooking for a minute because, oh my god, what number is this actually though? Fuck. God damn it, dude. I can't remember shit. This was 24, 25, 26, 27, the 28th. Is that right? Who fucking cares? Whatever. This is the next one. And this one is skeletal. And I fucking love this drawing. I mean, I don't mean to fucking toot my own horn, but this came together really nice. Every aspect of it, I think, is good. The text I love. I think it really adds an element. I kind of made it bones, if you can tell. Got to draw a landscape, which was awesome. And then I put this sort of sunken into the sand skeleton of some sort of creature, probably from Orpulon or whatever the made-up place that I just said was. I love this drawing. I think this is very nice. We've got some good shadows, cool cactus in the back. The purple color, just like on Inferno, I think was like a cool, unorthodox touch that I wouldn't have thought of beforehand, but I think plays very well. Yeah. Skeletal. Love it. Day whatever. It was done on the 31st. I did these last 3 on the 31st, so that means that this is 30th, 29th, 28th. So this is... No, what? This is 29. So that was 28. Whatever. Numbers. I'm an art guy, not a numbers guy. I'm a fart guy. I'm sorry. This was Lesson. This one I struggled with a little bit. Oh, and this is also the first of the brown. There's a 3 brown at the end. Like I said, I didn't get quite the time that the others got because it was the very last color. But yeah, we're done with purple, in with the brown. Lesson I struggled with a little bit. I was going to do like a full classroom, sort of, oh my god, what do you call it in fucking college? Lecture hall room. Like, yeah. And so I was gonna draw a bunch of people sitting around and listening to what he had to say, but I started with the chalkboard and the guy, and then I was like, all right, well, that's enough. We get it. He's saying, what is he saying? Oh yeah, which brings me to my final point. P is indeed stored in the balls, which is a fact. You can tell because he's got a lab coat on and is very clearly a scientist, so it must be true. And he's obviously got very important statistics and facts and charts and graphs and a question mark on his board, which must mean he's legit. The brown worked nice here because, you know, it's some sort of chalkboard, whiteboard thing, and sometimes those are made of wood, which is brown. So that worked out nice. Wasn't really premeditated, but it did work out. The 30th, I'm very happy with this one as well. The word was vacant. So I drew a vacant, dilapidated old lighthouse, which I think turned out quite well. I like the birds flying around up top. This little hole right here, dripping some sort of rusty brown liquid. I think adds a nice little touch to it. The shading I like a lot. Just a nice little scene. Yeah, I don't know, I like it. There's not really anything to complain about on this one for me. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And last but not least, the 31st. The word was award. So I drew the God's Funniest Soldier Award, which obviously I have already acquired in my real life and display on my shelf prominently. I'd grab it for you, but it's just so far away. The brown worked out nice there because awards, wood, brown. Yeah. The very first year I did this, I went like kind of all out on the last day. I really put more time into it and tried to make it like a big grand finale. Last year, I don't think I did that so much. This year also, the big grand finale is the fact that I did it at all, I guess. I would love to have put more time and effort into the very last one, but I have no excuse. I just didn't. I was burnt out on it a little bit. Like I said, this year it was the worst year I had for being committed to this and really doing it every day. Still got all the drawings done. Happy about that. Can't complain. But part of the joy of Inktober for me and helpful nature of it is that it is a daily thing, because I'm pretty bad about drawing daily, so it's nice to try and really commit to that idea. So let myself down a little bit this year in that way. But that's okay. Forgive and forget. But do better next year. All right, let's pick 5 favorites and then fucking wrap this thing up. I have already done this once, and I can't fully remember what I picked. This is always the fucking hardest part. It's also the great part because I get to go back through here and look at these and be like, oh, well, I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. Like 5 favorites is hard because I like what I draw. So I think that's a good thing. I think that's an awesome sign. Kind of be so much easier to start with my favorite and then kind of go down in order, but then we ruin all the suspense. So I'm not going to do that. I do have my favorite picked out. I think that probably it's pretty obvious. I think that we'll start with some honorable mentions, one of which is a shit deal because it's fucking hilarious. Another honorable mention is gonna go to... Oh man, see, this is what I'm saying. This is impossibly hard. It's like somehow I think I'm gonna offend my drawings if I don't pick them. Another honorable mention goes to Blunderbuss. And we'll do one more honorable mention, probably. Yeah. Crown. Crown gets the last honorable mention. Okay. Now we move on to my 5th favorite. My 5th favorite is, I know number 1. I know number 1. I think I know 2. I think I know 3. Okay, yeah, this has got to be 5. Deer. We're making Deer 5. This is by far the best deer I've ever drawn. It's probably the only deer I've ever drawn. Very happy with this. Deer. Number 5. Coming in hot at number 5. 4th favorite. 4th favorite. 4th favorite. 4th favorite. You know what? I think we can do this. I think that this is kind of a sleeper pick maybe, but for me it's number 4. Sting. Sting gets number 4. Simple, funny, well done. Number 4. Top 3. This is where shit gets serious, man. I think that we gotta give... Wait. Oh, fuck. I fucked up. No, that's okay. Okay, well... I'm throwing in one more honorable mention because I did fuck up. Vacant gets an honorable mention. I don't think it's top 5 material, but I do like it a lot. Vacant. Last honorable mention. 5th was Deer. 4th was Sting. 3rd is, drum roll, please, Yeah. Inferno. Third goes to Inferno. I just like it a lot. I've already raved about it. Second, another drum roll, please. Blast. I like this drawing a lot. I also already raved about this, and I'm sure that you can guess what number 1 is. Maybe not. I mean, I already jizzed my pants about it. Skeletal. It's just simply too good. That's my favorite. I don't think it got better than Skeletal. Yeah. Cool. We did it. Fantastic. Closing the book on that. I should have talked about this at the beginning. I talked about it in the 5 other iterations of this I did, but I didn't. Another reason that I did it this format this year was this sketchbook has... Oh, Jesus, what am I doing? This year's March in it. So I also want to just start keeping the drawing month challenge things together. So we'll have a book for March and Inktober for every year from here on out for this foreseeable future until I stop doing this, which hopefully I never do. So yeah, we wrapped up 2025. Feels good. There's still a couple pages at the back of this book, but mostly it's filled. I'll probably just leave those blank because now it feels like I've accomplished something, and if I feel like I have to finish those last pages, it won't. I do appreciate everybody for watching the Instagram story and, you know, giving a like when you feel so inclined. Huge shout out to, I'll present an audience award for the first time this year, and maybe subsequently for the rest of the years. I will do the same for biggest super fan. My mom commented on I think every single story, and liked pretty much all of them. No, actually I think she just commented, now that I think about it. I don't think she liked any of them. So do better next time, Mom. Like and comment. But it means a lot to everybody else who commented at all or liked it all. I really appreciate that too. It does mean a lot to me to even see you guys interact with this stuff. It makes me happy. I mean, I really do mostly do this for myself. So, you know, who gives a fucking shit what you guys think anyway? But no, it really does. It makes me happy to see you guys enjoying this stuff. So, remember, fuck Instagram. We hate those guys. You guys should write Zuckerberg a letter. Tell him how angry you are about the fact that your favorite fartist can't go live for his Inktober recaps because he doesn't have enough clout. Or just buy me a bunch of bot followers on Instagram. That would work too. Or just get me followers. Share my account and actually get me to 1,000 followers. That would be cool. Stuff coming up. Not really anything. I'm really gonna try harder to post on my Instagram more. I think there's one post in between Arch's recap and then this, which is going to be on YouTube now because I have to put it up there. I can't put it on Instagram. It's simply too long. But I'm going to post more on the Instagram. I have a render of one of, not this year's March drawings, but last year's that I did on my tablet that I've just been sitting on. My plan was to render all of those and then post them subsequently, but I didn't do that. So I'm just going to post it right after I'm done with this. It's gonna go up on the Instagram. I'm gonna post more on there in general. My homie Noah and I, Lior, we're still working on our comic book. Second issue is almost done. We're plugging away at it, slow but steady. So maybe in a couple of years, look for that. Hopefully sooner. Yeah, some stop motion stuff hopefully coming up. I have some stuff to post on here that I've also been sitting on for that. Just some simple tests and basic practice, but it's still cool, I think. Yeah, I think that's that. I'm getting really worried that this is gonna run out of time again. So we should probably wrap it up. Thank you all so much. Appreciate ya. Love ya. And keep on noggin. Keep on noggin. Okay? I love you.